Good afternoon, everybody. On this November 4th, it's Tuesday. I got all your stories for your rush hour ride home, and things are getting down to the wire. I am supposed to be on a flight right now to San Francisco to cover Laura Owens versus Mike Maricini. If you aren't familiar with that case, I'm going to be talking about it, why I'm not going, why I still may get on a flight tonight. We've got that story, plus more Blake Lively receiving bad press as it's becoming evident. The news is a little late to the story, but they're covering some new motions by Blake that are not exactly helping her case. We've got that. Plus, it's election day. Big elections in Virginia, New Jersey, New York, California. Does this affect you? It affects all of us. We're going to discuss what the polls are saying. All of the election content will be the second half of today's episode. So we'll start off with Sexiest Man of the Year. What's that? I wasn't even nominated? Come on, folks. I don't have good PR. So anyway, let's jump into these stories right now. Again, this Blake Lively story, if you've been covering on the day-to-day as we have, this won't be news breaking to you, but it's several days late for the mainstream media to be covering it. Blake Lively makes new demands and harassment lawsuit as Justin Baldoni remains focused on trial. What are these demands? Well, these demands are that she wants to receive more video. Again, we covered this, I believe, on Friday. It might have been overshadowed by the Jen Abel motion that we covered, the amended motion. Lively accused Heath, who is, again, one of the partners there at Wayfair, of turning over a 3-minute clip of the video that was not the one that was shown on set. So I can't even say the words. Blake Lively accused them of sharing the P word with her, X-rated video. And she was, basically characterizing the set as a boys' club. They're just slinging porn around. They're all over the place. When in fact it was really just a water birth, a home birth video. The blow up pool, the warm water, the kumbayas, the crystals. They had an episode of the Rush Hour on in the background because I've heard that it helps people ovulate. No, whatever you're talking about. Maybe not. So, technically, someone might have procreated to an episode of the Rush Hour podcast. Who knows? I can't control what you do with your time. Anyhow, neither here nor there. So this is this is not great for Blake Lively to receive this kind of coverage. And it reflects this sort of branding that Blake wants to have, which is it's an untraceable campaign. And not only is it untraceable, but they're not even sharing with me the thing I saw with my own darn eyes. If she thinks or misremembers seeing a longer, different version of this quote-unquote birthing video, and she's saying they're not sharing the one that, this is really where you get to the point where she's accusing them of withholding evidence. So, honestly, what are you supposed to do at this point? They're basically saying, we don't have another version of what you think you saw. This is what you saw. Of course, experts will tell you that the brain, and maybe this is a little bit of like confirmation bias in a way, but the brain will map together things it thinks it saw. So if it only receives partial information, it will map together. You think you saw a ghost, so you're like, and then it turns out it's a broom stand with a wig on top or whatever, whatever the hell it is. And the point of what I'm saying is, if Blake was trying to, pin these guys as being or doing, having violations in the workplace, she might have thought that she saw this really over-the-line thing. But for them, they're like, we just showed you a birthing video. It didn't even have to be my wife. We could have just Googled birthing videos. I just so happen to have one of my wife on my phone. This is what we want. This is the look, sweat on the brow, whatever the case may be. Here's the question that remains. Did Blake actually think she saw something more aggressive than what they shared with her? Did she actually see something more aggressive and then they're lying? Or the truth, which might be the simplest thing, is that no, they just showed her this 3-minute video. Here's a short video of my wife in her, water birth, her home birth. I think that's the most obvious answer of what happened. But again, who knows? We'll have to see if they unearth the missing footage. I don't think they will. All right, we've got the sexiest man alive, as announced by Jimmy Fallon on last night's episode of The Tonight Show. Let's have a listen.
He's a triple threat. He can act, sing, and dance. You might be familiar with his slutty little glasses.
Okay, now it's not me. I don't wear glasses, but I am a triple threat.
Fantastic year starring in not one, but 2 giant blockbusters, Jurassic World Rebirth and Wicked. The sequel, Wicked for Good, comes out November 21st. Here he is, people's sexiest man alive, Jonathan Bailey!
I don't even know who this is. I mean, that's a sexy man. That's a good-looking dude, by all means. But, I don't know. They don't do sexiest women alive. You ever notice that? They don't do sexiest women. They'll do, I'm not complaining. I just get me on the ballot. Who's this? Is there a podcast division? Okie dokie. I got a haircut. I want to show it off. All right, let's move it on. Sexiest woman alive, Amanda Smith from Selling Sunset, was on Harry Jowsey's podcast. And it's a pretty funny clip where she says, "I've banged so many of my kids' uncles." Have a listen.
And just so many uncles that like I probably have like banged. My kids are like, wait,
sorry, which
like not
uncles?
a real uncle, but like, you know, when you're close friends with somebody, you'd be like, Uncle so-and-so, Uncle so-and-so.
Yeah, your kids' uncles would probably be your brother. And again, that's a whole nother, niche category for adult filmmaking. But in this case, you know how it is. Oh, that's Uncle Tom or Uncle Billy or Uncle whoever, Jeffrey. Well, if apparently Amanda's, she's not too shy letting the uncles come over for quality time, apparently.
Like 3 Uncle so-and-sos that I've definitely had sex with. And so my kids are old enough now that they're like, so everybody that's uncle? I'm like, no.
This just goes to show you're a single mom out there. Men, the bar is set so low. All you got to do is come over, play some ball with Timmy, and maybe you get to bang someone from Selling Sunset. I don't know how it works, but there it is. Real cutting edge news coming out of the Harry Jowsey podcast, Boyfriend Material. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a quick break, pay for some ad reads. We're going to come back. I've got all of your updates on Justice for Clayton, the Laura Owens saga as it continues. Today's episode is sponsored by Veracity, an all-natural way to slim down, get energized, and sharpen your focus. Veracity is tackling the root cause of so many issues, metabolism. With Veracity's drug-free, clinically proven, and doctor-formulated solutions, you can support your body's needs to live your healthiest life. Try Metabolism Ignite, the #1 doctor-recommended GLP-1 booster and GLP-1 alternative. No side effects or allergens. Metabolism Ignite is a natural, safe, plant-based aid that results in an 85% reduction in hunger and is clinically proven to lose, on average, 9 pounds in 90 days. So what's in Veracity? It's a unique blend of lemon, verbena, and hibiscus extracts, green coffee bean extract, and magnesium. Veracity is safe to take along with GLP-1 medications to aid in boosting your metabolism and appetite control. Head to veracityselfcare.com and use code RUSHHOUR for up to 45% off your order. Once again, that's veracityselfcare.com for up to 40% off, and make sure you use my promo code RUSHHOUR so they know I sent you. Veracity doesn't just offer a quick fix for fatigue or weight gain. The products actually help you maintain a healthier lifestyle. It's the best kind of self-care. All right, getting a ton of questions about this Laura Owens trial today. It is supposed to be Laura Owens versus Mike Maricini. That's her victim. She faked a pregnancy with him. She faked ovarian cancer. She faked medical documents. She faked being a doctor. Several doctors, I believe. She faked being an agent. And of course, she faked being a black journalist, to me, in court documents. I mean, the last thing Laura Owens needs to do is go to California and lie under oath. I'm telling you right now, she's being charged with 7 felonies in Arizona. She has to ask Arizona for permission to travel. I'm getting information from all over the place. If you are joining me on today's Patreon, you're watching live as I'm getting the breaking. I've broken the breaking news button. I can't even. If I shared my phone with you, I would get in so much trouble. I've got window cleaners at the courthouse. Everyone's chiming in, telling me what's going on. I'm hearing from little birdies out there, these little tiny spy drones that I have, that Laura actually did file for permission to travel to California. I'm also hearing that literally nobody believes she's going to show up, which is why I canceled my flight to to San Francisco. I was supposed to fly there today and be there for the trial tomorrow and fly back Thursday. Look, I got a wife, I got a family, I got things to do. I'm a valuable member of my household, whether it's folding laundry or providing for you guys, for them by podcasting or sharing beautiful ad reads. I have work to do, and I'm not going to fly to San Francisco if I don't have confirmation that Laura's going to be there. My belief is this. This is just all of the information I've put together for tomorrow's trial. Again, this is Laura Owens seeking an extended restraining order against Mike Maricini. This isn't the one where I'm a star witness in Arizona. That's coming in January. I'll be there. I will be there and then some. We'll be doing choice dinners at your favorite, hamburger bistros, okay? We're going to have pizza parties galore. But for this case, you got to fly on last minute notice. It's $800. It's going to be $500 for a couple of nights of hotels. And then whatever other costs come in. I got to dine at choice steakhouses. I mean, it can add up being a power recapper, right? So I don't think I'm going to go. I am tracking a flight that goes to San Francisco tonight, so I may change my mind. Right now, I give about a 5 to 10% chance of Laura showing up in person. Like I said, if she shows up in person with her lies, here's what's going to happen. The Arizona trial that's in January, they're going to know what's being said under oath. They're going to use whatever she says against her there. And then in California, anything that has maybe overlapped its statute of limitations is now rehydrated. And by that, I mean, if Laura wants to enter new lies, under oath in California, you might have California prosecutors coming after her. She's already facing some ungodly number, like 20 to 30 years behind bars. You might think that's excessive, but look, there's a reason why these laws exist. You have the right to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, your First Amendment rights, but not when you've provably lied about what another person has done to you. The most pro-woman thing that I can do is hold Laura Owens accountable because it it clears a path. It plows a path for real victims, real survivors to tell their story and be believed. I do not believe victims any less than I did before I met Laura Owens. I don't believe it's normal for people to act the way Laura Owens has acted, and yet there will be people that use her as an example that, well, people lie, and yes, people do lie. I believe people generally, and then I assess the evidence, the information, and go from there. Now, of course, Laura has no credibility. Will she stay in Arizona? My guess is this, for the trial tomorrow, and we will be here to cover it. If I don't make it to San Francisco, we still have eyes and ears in the courthouse. So we will, if somebody farts in that courthouse, I will know what they had for dinner last night, mind you, okay? I'm there, either physically or not. I am there. And anyhow, pardon the illustrations, the color commentary here. But my belief is this: Laura's going to show up via Zoom with some sort of emergency. She's going to make some sort of claim as to why she couldn't get there. She's going to show the proof that she did get permission to be there, but she has to be there via Zoom. My belief is that maybe she feels like it doesn't count as lying in California if she lies in Arizona by Zoom. That's my belief. Maybe she thinks I can lie through Zoom from Arizona and I'm protected. And I don't know. Either way, I want cops at the border there. If she ever enters California, I want her charged with crimes for faking a black journalist. Now, why does it matter that he was black? It just matters because it shows every amount of sort of victimhood she'll try to play. She tried to pretend to be a black journalist in order to try to cancel Clayton Echard, right? So she tried to be a Jewish agent. Again, does it matter he's Jewish? No, it just goes to show. She used her religion against people, claiming people were being anti-Semitic. She's pretended to be different ethnicities. She pretended to be an Asian doctor. I mean, she's literally a village people at this point. She's all over the place. So people are asking questions. If Laura is Laura the only litigant in the world who files the case, then stalls and doesn't show up? Shouldn't that be punished as frivolous litigation brought to court in bad faith? Now the problem, and I don't know the answer to that, but the problem is a lot of times when you take things to court, they want to try on the merits of that specific issue, and that's why she's been able to get away with so much, whether it be with me in Los Angeles, although she got away with nothing thanks to you guys and my audience sticking up for me. Didn't have too many other content creators. Shout shout out to the ones that did. My homeboy Reality Steve and others. You guys did show up. I don't want to downgrade that, but some people could have. They must have, I don't know, been too busy that day. Either way, whatever. So shout out. So she's in San Francisco, Maricopa County, Los Angeles County. She's all over the map. These jurisdictions don't all talk to each other until they do. And now that you've got Maricopa County kind of listening to what happens tomorrow, I think as reckless as she's been with some of her claims, I think she's still smart enough to know she cannot possibly go to court in San Francisco. So hopefully this is the beginning of justice for Mike Maricini. And we're going to seek justice for Greg Gillespie, and we're going to seek justice for Clayton even more so. But there's just a lot to it. I received a question from somebody on Patreon. You guys know I stream live on Patreon as we produce the episode. And someone said, do you think Laura's like getting off by making all these content creators scramble? Honestly, it doesn't affect me. If anything, you could argue it's fun for me. Will I be traveling to San Francisco? I've got the points, baby. I am like Scrooge McDuck when it comes to airline points. I am just ready to. I'll stay at the Choice Holiday Inn, whatever you need. It doesn't affect me at all. If I need to be there, I'll be there. I just don't think at this point it's worthwhile for me to go, considering I'll still be able to report from here, the command center in Nashville, Tennessee. So that's where I stand on that. So before we get to the afternoon episode, how crazy is this? Ariana Grande getting death threats because they aren't able to travel to, is it Brazil, for their premiere? Yeah, her Wicked premiere says, please don't wish danger on us. We did everything we could, and I promise you no one is more upset than I am. I promise. No matter how upset or disappointed you are, please do not wish danger on us or assume that we didn't try. There was no other time for me to leave, and these plans have been booked for months. I wrapped another film on the 31st, and I worked all day the 1st and the 2nd as well, just the same as Johnny, Sin, and John have been working. So anyway, she goes into it. I guess the fans in Brazil are very upset that the Wicked cast can't make it to the premiere. Watch out for those Wicked people, right? They're demanding. I wish people would demand I show up to events. They're like, Dave, please don't come. No, I mean, to be quite honest, with the Laura Owens, I wanted to go less about the tea that happens in the courtroom, but more so to support just, I can't begin to tell you guys how rewarding it is to help see people across the finish line. We shared yesterday the New York Marathon and helping, cheering for people across the finish line. That's what we're doing right now when it comes to Mike Maricini, Greg Gillespie, Clayton Echard, and even Greg Woodnick, the accusations against him, and so many others. We're cheering them across the finish line. It's not always in the world of in the court of law that you get to cross your T's and dot your I's, that you really get to see justice the way that we're seeing it now. It's because of the attention you guys have put on the case. And more updates to come. I don't know what I'll know by tomorrow morning's episode, but definitely subscribe to patreon.com/Dave Neal or follow me on social media, and we'll get those updates as soon as they come. It's a busy time to be alive. That's your big story revolving around the Justice for Clayton community. Coming up next, we've got your thoughts on the election that is happening today. It is a big story that coming next.